So today I'm excited to be bringing you guys my top 10 spring designer fragrances for 2021. So you're going to see a trend in this video. A lot of the fragrances that I chose today are going to have neroli, slight florals, and also they're going to be aromatic, kind of green, fresh, and woody. So we're not going into the citrus heavy fragrances yet. We're going with scents that have a little bit of a floral touch, what I would equate to springtime, everything's starting to come into bloom and, come back to life. And also scents that just kind of remind me of the outdoors, geranium, lavender heavy scents, kind of aromatic, somewhat herbal scents. Those are really what I think of when I think of spring scents. And I will provide links to all of the fragrances that we talk about today down below. They will take you to discounters so you can grab these for yourself without paying retail. So let's go ahead and jump right into this one. We have a lot to cover. First off, one honorable mention, Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme Cologne Bleue. So this one came out in 2018. This one has apple, sea notes, orange, and woods. And this one is a very fresh, clean, invigorating scent. You'll see this one gets compared a little bit to Invictus Aqua, Legend Spirit by Mont Blanc, and it does fit in with those. However, it's just a bit more of a clean take on those. Kind of goes in that direction just with its own twist. However, the reason why this one is an honorable mention is because the performance is not very good at all. Really, really weak scent, which is a shame because it actually smells really pleasant, very nice, but you would have to spray this one on heavily and reapply it multiple times throughout the day if you want to really get any sort of decent performance out of this one. So I still wanted to throw it in the video just as an option. If you're able to get this one for a really, really low price and you like the smell, maybe it's worth picking up to spray it on heavily. But I would say the others in this list are going to be better bang for your buck. This one still is going to be an Yves Saint Laurent fragrance. It's going to be a bit more expensive. All the ones in the video going forward have good performance and are great for spring. Number 10, we have Ferragamo Uomo Casual Life. This one has violet, coffee, and lemon as some of the main notes in this one. And this is a really nice, well done flanker of Uomo. It still carries over some of that coffee, some of that sweetness from Uomo and Uomo Signature, but introduces that violet, that citrus, that freshness, and just this overall clean, kind of fizzy type of smell, just kind of making it its own thing and making this one great for warmer weather. Now this one does have that coffee and sweetness, which makes this one great for springtime when you have days that are going to be a little bit more cold. When it gets really warm, this one may not be the best option, but on maybe a cooler spring day and you want just a little bit of sweetness for the cool weather, this one here is a nice choice. It's a very affordable one, $30 or so on discounters, good performance, good quality, and all around a really solid one for the price. Ferragamo Uomo Casual Life. At number 9, we have Prada L'Homme Low. This one has iris, neroli, and powdery notes as some of the main notes in this one. Really, the easiest way to describe this one is it's just a lighter, fresher version of Prada L'Homme, which I'm sure all of you are aware of. If you smelled Prada L'Homme, just imagine a version which is a bit lighter. Prada L'Homme can be kind of dense sometimes, just a little bit. It's got some richness to it, but Prada L'Homme Low just kind of really lightens it up. It freshens it up, making it great for a nice, warm spring day. You want something that's going to be floral, bright, crisp, refreshing, but also, it has this clean type of smell about it. Just clean washed clothes, a well put together, clean guy. If that's how you want to smell, Prada L'Homme Low will get you there immediately. Just as a whole, Prada L'Homme, the DNA is great for smelling clean, fresh, and upscale. And this one here does it really nicely in the springtime. It just has this uplifting smell, which is great when you start working into the warmer weather. And number 8, we have Versace The Dreamer. This one has lavender, tobacco, and tonka bean as some of the main notes in this one. And of course, this is the newest version. I believe 1996 is when this one came out. There's another version as well. It's not really that sweet of a fragrance. It may sound like it from the tobacco tonka bean, but really for me, it's all about that clean, fresh lavender. You get tobacco nuances in there, but it's lighter tobacco, and also the tonka bean, just giving it a powdery touch. It's not overly sweet like some tonka bean fragrances are. It works together and meshes well with all of the other notes to create just a nice aromatic, clean, fresh smell. There's something about this one that just reminds me of the weather starting to warm up, things starting to come back to life. Just nice, pleasant, clean, fresh smell. This one's timeless, it's elegant, it's classy, and it also is affordable. And the quality from this one is pretty good despite it being a cheaper fragrance. One of the cheaper Versaces you can get. It's one that does perform okay, not the best performer, but you can spray it on heavily and it'll get you through the day and have you smelling well put together, crisp, clean, and fresh in springtime. That's at number 8, Versace The Dreamer. At number 7, we have John Varvatos Artisan Blu. So this one is interesting because you see the name and you see the bottle. You know, the bottle is blue. It's got this blue textured thing around it. There's just blue everywhere. And of course in the name, like I said, so you're probably thinking that's going to be a blue fragrance. And it's not. This is not a blue fragrance. In fact, this is more of a green fragrance. So why they didn't maybe branch out and call this John Varvatos Artisan Green or something along those lines is beyond me, because there's nothing blue about this one. This one has lavender, geranium, basil, and bergamot as some of the main notes. So the lavender, geranium giving it that fresh aromatic smell. The basil giving it a little bit of an herbal touch, which I do get quite a bit from this one. And a nice fresh bergamot. This is amazing. Such a gorgeous smell. Something that is just one of a kind. Nothing else out there like it, except for maybe it does compare to some of the other artisan fragrances, of course from the same line and from the same house, but outside of John Varvatos, nothing else out there really smells like this one. This one also is not that expensive either. $30 or so on discounters is about what this one runs for, and it's a really good price. You're getting something that's unique and also has good quality for the price. Seriously, this is smooth stuff and it's well blended. Performance does lack, but it's not as bad as some other fragrances out there, like our honorable mention, Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme Cologne Blue. That one is just almost terrible. This is not that bad. Usually it's a good 5-6 hours longevity and soft projection, but it does get the job done, and such an amazing smelling springtime scent. It takes me to spring every time I smell it. Again, don't let the bottle and the name fool you. This is more aromatic and green than anything else. Great one here, John Varvatos Artisan Blu. Moving on to number 6, we have Emporio Armani Stronger With You Freeze, the freshest flanker from the line and really one of the cooler bottles from the line. I love that frosted glass. It looks good on any bottle. Just very nice, very refreshing looking, and the scent is pretty refreshing. This one has ginger, vanilla, and lime as some of the main notes. So the ginger gives you a bit of a spice in the opening. Lime, nice freshness, and the vanilla ties it back to this DNA, which is a sweet bubblegummy DNA. However, this one is a nice fresh version. Still has that powderiness carrying over, but just with a little bit of a spicy freshness. Smells great. If you're a fan of Armani Stronger With You, you're gonna like this one. It's just really the same as the original, but just lighter, fresher, and a bit more stripped back. It doesn't have quite as much depth and sweetness and punch as the original and Intensely. It's just really a much more wearable version overall, and that makes it great for spring. On days where it might be a little bit cooler out, a cooler spring day, you don't want to go back to heavy fragrances, but you still want something with a little bit of a fresh kick. Armani Stronger With You Freeze really strikes a nice balance. This one is fully available on discounters now and is worth a pickup if you're a fan of the line. Breaking into the top 5, we have Dunhill Icon. By far one of the heaviest bottles in my collection. This thing has some heft to it, very high quality feeling, and it's not that expensive either. These are usually around $40, $50 on discounters. This one has neroli, pepper, bergamot is some of the main notes in here. So it's floral, it's fresh, it's fizzy. This one kind of gets compared to having a grape soda type of smell. The neroli kind of gives that off. It's got this fizziness, and smelling it right off the atomizer, 100% smells like grape soda. It's so weird because when I first smelled this one, I didn't quite get it, but over time as I've smelled it more, I'm like, yeah, I do really get that grape soda smell. It's fizzy, it's invigorating, it's bright, and honestly, it's delicious smelling. Such a unique, great scent, and this one has springtime written all over it. If there's one season I can think of for this one, spring is going to be it. Summertime it would work well also, but there's some better options for summer. This one still has some of that sweetness about it, which really is better when you have a bit of a cooler counterbalance outside to where it's not super hot yet. This one is at number 5, but could easily be placed higher. I'm just kind of basing this also off of what I'm going to be wearing the most, and this is going to be getting some wear, but not as much as the ones higher up. Still, great fragrance, amazing quality for the price, great performance. Dunhill Icon at number 5. Moving on to number 4, we have Chanel Platinum Egoiste. This one has lavender, geranium, and rosemary is some of the main notes in this one. I'm always so excited about this fragrance. It's one of my favorites from Chanel. It's one of my favorite aromatic fougères. It just smells like an expensive body soap, and not like a body wash, like a blue fragrance shower gel type of smell, which you get compared like Sauvage and everything. Dunhill Blue, those get kind of compared to a shower gel. This doesn't smell like that. It smells like a high-end, luxurious, classy body wash. Like this smells like a guy who just stepped out of the shower, rinsed off with a nice body wash like a hotel or something, and now is getting dressed up to go out to a nice fancy dinner. That's what this one has all about it. Just so fresh, so classy, so mature, and so elegant smelling. It has such a timeless smell about it. Even though it's an aromatic fougère, it doesn't smell dated. It just smells like clean man. And this one is just so good for all year round, but really springtime is when this one will shine. It just has that aromatic kind of green herbal touch about it. It just smells like being outdoors in the spring on a well-dressed guy. Platinum Egoiste at number 4, one of my favorites from Chanel, and one that you need to try if you like aromatic fougère scents. Moving into number 3, we have Armani Code Colonia. This one has amberwood, tonka bean, bergamot, and orange. So you get that nice orange tonka bean mixture, very common, a nice amberwood ambroxan in here. This is a nice fresh version of Armani Code. If you're still craving that Armani Code Absolute, Armani Code Profumo that you've been wearing throughout the winter time, you can move into this one in the springtime, have that freshness, a nice blue amber wood in here, and it's just much more wearable for the warmer weather. This is a really, really good flanker, and I think this one is slept on. Maybe not so much now, but when it first came out, this one just kind of got buried. You know, people just swept it under the rug. It's just like, oh, another, generic fragrance, let's get rid of it. And you just didn't hear much about it. I think it's starting to come around. People are starting to enjoy this one. And ever since I first got this one, I've always really liked it. I'm like, hey, this is a good fragrance. I've always told you guys that. And this is just one that's so wearable, so versatile. And it's one that I'm going to be wearing a lot. I have a lot of fragrances. All of the ones in this list are amazing. That's why they're in the video. But this one is one that I'm going to be gravitating towards a lot. It's such a dumb reach. It's so easy to wear. And for springtime, when you have that nice balance of warm and cold, this one can go both ways and work incredible. It's a great compliment getter as well. At number 2, we have Lacoste Match Point. This one has geranium, cashmere, and vetiver as some of the main notes in this one. A newer fragrance. This one is on discounters though, so you can grab it without having to pay retail. And it's worth it. This one, when I first got it, I wasn't in love with it. I didn't hate it, but it didn't really surprise me or wow me that much. However, as time has gone on, I've come around to this one, and I really like it. It's just so fresh and wearable. It's got the sweetness in here from the cashmere, but it also has this clean freshness, just green, sexy, musky, woody. Just smells so nice, so pleasant, so wearable. Another fantastic compliment getter. If a day comes by where you're not really sure what fragrance to wear and it's in spring, Match Point will be one that you can just grab and wear, and it's going to do the job for you. Really nice one here. At number 1, we have a fragrance from Issey Miyake. This right here is such a good fragrance. I've talked about it before. I've kind of thrown some shade at Issey Miyake, and a lot of people have, because they do release a ton of flankers all the time. Summer editions, limited editions, fragrance everywhere, and it's overwhelming, and it really makes it hard for some people to get into the line, myself included. You almost don't want to, because it's like, okay, where do I even start with this? But they do have some hidden gems, and this right here maybe isn't a hidden gem. People do talk about it, but it's definitely one that's buried, that's kind of overshadowed compared to some of their other ones, and this one deserves so much love. It mostly appeals to us, the fragrance enthusiasts, more so than the average consumer, and I think that's part of the reason why this one just isn't talked about that much. Again, at number 1, this one is Le Bleu d'Issey pour Homme. Such a work of art. This one has cypress, rosemary, and juniper berries as the main note. It's herbal, it's green, it's spicy, it's masculine. I mean, this is breathtaking. It's really solid. I mean, this one surprised me. I was not expecting this good of a scent from Issey Miyake, but it's just one that will really make you go, wow, this is different, this is unique, and it smells like springtime. just those herbal notes that you get, the juniper berries, gives it almost this kind of booziness in a way, kind of a gin sparkling type of smell. Get that rosemary in here, nice clean lavender, bit of a woodiness in the base, nice musky undertone. Springtime in a bottle, so great. Smells like everything coming back into bloom again, just smells like the outdoors, and that's really what spring is all about for me personally, enjoying time outside. And this one here just smells like it, masculine, sexy, and a good compliment getter as well. At number 1, Low Blue Dissy Pour Homme, and did I mention it's affordable? $25 or so on FragranceNet for this size bottle. 2.5 is around what it's costing. That's a steal. Pick this one up while you can. So guys, that's going to do it for me. That was my top 10 spring designer fragrances for 2021. I'm going to do a niche video to follow as well coming up, so make sure you get subscribed and stay tuned for that. And remember, if you want to grab any of the fragrances I mentioned today, they will be linked down below. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.